Yeah, hello and welcome to the Toyota pre-game show. Have a look at this day in Melbourne. 24 degrees, spectacular setting, and that is Fed Square, just down the road from the Coliseum, the MCG, and a big crowd building here. They are ready to roll, Swans and Hawks fans, and the Saturday night team are here. We are live and we are pumping for this big grand final day.
Oh, we're certainly pumped, Darcy. You're absolutely spot on. Couldn't be a more perfect day for football today. The teams, the two best teams, 1 and 2 in the competition all year, Sammy. I cannot wait for this game today.
I'm so excited too. How could you not be excited here right now? We've got the heavyweight bout that we wanted, guys. We've got some news on Adam Goodes later in the show, but you're going to have to wait for Give Me Something.
Big news, Sammy.
Big news on his playing future.
Look forward to that. Hey, we've got Ed Sheeran playing a couple of songs here today. And also, I was looking through the Herald Sun today, 16 photos of Buddy Franklin in the paper.
That's not enough.
He is massive. Hey, Elvis has left the building, Buddy's walked in.
Welcome to you, Mickey.
Thank you very much. Perfect day. Good luck with the call to you.
Thank you.
Can I say you won't have any problems? You're in career best form, don't you think? Last week's call was one of the all-time greats. In fact, trended worldwide. Here's what caused all the trouble.
Just noticed the lights have been turned on. MCG. Given it's going to be nighttime, BT, it's probably always going to happen.
Some of your best work.
I can't wait for a day-night grand final just for you.
Doesn't Mickey know how to give you a pump up? How's your confidence levels now, Luke?
Got a bad feeling.
I'm in awe of working with you, but one bloke had a worse week than you, and that's Stephen Tulloch from the Detroit Lions. Have a look at this here. Just did a little bit of a sack. Tried to celebrate. He has done his ACL. He's out for the rest of the year celebrating. That's not good.
Wow.
That is not good, Mick.
He'd have a bit of explaining to do, I'd reckon. No doubt.
Unbelievable. Hey, if you haven't got down here to Fed Square, Mick Malloy's got 2 grand final tickets. The last 2 at his disposal.
Yeah.
At his discretion. We'll be giving them out a bit later on this morning. But right now, we're going to head inside the inner sanctum of the MCG. We've had great access all year, and right now our man Brian Taylor is inside the Sydney locker room. Over to you, BT.
The Sydney Swans rooms. This is the place where everyone wants to be. Shortly, the players will arrive here and do their warm-up in this very room. We're looking forward to it. It's the place to be today, I'm telling you. Come with me and have a look in here, because this is the real intriguing part of the rooms. Boot starter on the right. You walk here. The first thing the players see, leave the phones with the property steward out there. Restricted area. Want to rub? Plenty of rubs on offer. You can see the boys preparing here already. The towels, come in here and get a rub any time you want. Hey, the intriguing area in this room is this room in here. Come and have a look. Follow me as we come in. The footy records are being unpacked here, and they're ready to go for the players to do a bit of light reading. Have a look at this. The jumpers are laid out in jumper order. Benny McGlynn in the corner there, but all the rest are in the corner here. Malcheski here. Some great players, of course. Kennedy, Bird, Reid. What sort of job will he today? The co-captain here, Kieran Jack, of course, as well. Over here, the ice. Now, what's going to be in there? Is it going to be champagne or is it going to be sore bodies? I'm not so sure, but Nick is with us, the property steward. Nick, just noticed the jumper order is all fine except for McVeigh. Why here?
Yeah, definitely, Brian. This is Macca's locker whilst he's here at the MCG. Sort of always has been, and so we like to keep things sort of routine whilst we prepare for the game.
So he likes the corner?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you see the rest of these, the famous Jude Bolton name there, of course, a number there. You see Smith, All-Australian here, Lloydie, a young fella on the other side. But in the middle, the big buddy, number 23. Why is it? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know. It's similar to McVeigh. This is Bud's locker when he plays at the MCG and sort of has been throughout his career, so we like to keep routine and business as usual.
The big bud. Oh, I've touched the jumper, the famous man. Will he get the job done today? He is going to be sensational watching. The interesting part for me is these 3 guys over here get their own little locker area. Of course, the great Adam Goodes, why not? Hanbury as well in here. It's an intriguing part. Hey, this is going to be full of electricity, this place today. Stay with us because this is going to be a cracking game. I would love to be down in here when John Longmire is addressing the team just before they go out in the ground.
Yes, nice work, BT. Is that a little bit weird, sniffing Blacky's jumper?
It's a big moment. It's a bold call.
Better sniffing jumper than jocks, don't you think?
I think that's a good point.
Most definitely, Sam.
Nice way to get our morning underway, and we're going to go right now to the MCG, where one of the all-time greats is standing by. He's a 3-time premiership champion with the Brisbane Lions, and one of the greats of the modern era, John O'Brien, the Cup ambassador. Welcome to you, Brownie.
G'day, guys. Great to be on. I brought a little surprise, actually. Here we go. Here it is.
You
This is
just
what we're
love.
all here for.
You'd love having your hands on that one, wouldn't you, Brownie? You did it 3 times, but still today brings back a lot of good memories.
It does, Linger. It's starting to get the butterflies are setting in already, mate. I was nervous for the rehearsal on Thursday. I'm going to be even more nervous in front of 100,000 people when I get to bring this beauty out. And obviously, I want to pull the boots back on one last time, Linger. Great memories.
Brownie, great to see you presenting the cup, but you haven't gone to a lot of trouble. I mean, in the past, they've pulled off some greats. Do you remember Mark Prosciutto? Have a look at that for an entrance. That's what I'm talking about.
I was a little bit concerned there, Mick. I thought I was going to get bungee jumped out of an aeroplane or something like that. But
there you go. It's on fire this week.
It's
look
been
at
a big week. They've looked after me, so I'll just get to walk it out, which will be fantastic. Just before the national anthem, mate, Olivia Newton-John, she sang it for me twice the other day. I wasn't happy with the first rendition, so I said, "Can you just whip through it again for me?"
Hey, Brownie, you've been everywhere this week. You've been to every function. You've met some famous people. Who's the biggest name you've met? Usain Bolt, maybe?
Probably Usain Bolt. I got a photo. I was pretty happy. Got a photo with him in the cup the other night. But my wife Kylie swamped me. She got a selfie with him at the bar. So I'm not sure what she was doing. Whether he was tuning her up at the bar. Or not sure at the Virgin Australia party. But I've met some great people. Tom Jones the other day. Of course, I was here for his sound check. So that'll be magnificent. That show later on.
Hey, and Jonathan, you played in 17 finals. How did your preparation and nerve levels change for each one of them?
Well, I remember the first one, Lee just said to try and enjoy the week. And because we're up in Brisbane, obviously you don't fly in until Thursday. We were able to stay out of it pretty well. But he said, you really just enjoy the parade, all those sorts of things. Of course, it was a funny week in 2001 because Ansett went bust on the Monday. And on the Wednesday, we still had no planes to fly us to Melbourne. And a guy come up with a couple of private jets and got us down. So I had the real rock star feel about it. But I think just go out and really look around, enjoy it. You never know if you're going to be back here again. And then just try and get involved early in the game, whether you smash into some bodies, lay a tackle, and obviously get a kick if you possibly can to help settle the nerves.
Brownie, it's obviously been a big week. That voice is just holding on there. It's a couple of late nights, maybe?
No, I don't know, late nights. I reckon I've spoken to everyone in Melbourne this week, Linger, and a few from the country, of course, and told a few stories. And I'm having to start making up a few stories, Linger, and I've made a few up about you too, just to get me through. I need some fresh material.
Hey, Brownie, we love it. We love you. You're one of the all-time greats. Look forward to seeing you out there with the cup very shortly.
Beauty. Thanks, guys.
Jonathan Brown, absolute champion of the game and one of the great blokes. And nice way to kick it off here. We are counting down on this beautiful afternoon, the 2014 Grand Final. It's the Swans and the Hawks. Don't go anywhere.
As we count down to today's AFL Grand Final, what a lineup we have for you. Up next, Aussie export turned Hollywood superstar Chris Hemsworth drops in. The big names don't stop there with controversial NFL star Terrell Owens. Plus, we meet your grand final entertainment, Ed Sheeran and Sir Tom Jones. Plus, star cat Stephen Motlop will sing live for us here at Federation Square. Don't move a muscle. This is the only place to be on footy's biggest day.
For your big fight scene, what was the specific direction I gave to you? You told me to fight like Barry Hall.
Yeah, I feel like you're going pretty above and beyond over here.
I'll have some water. Well, no, that'd be soft, actually.
Oh, shit. That's...
No, he's doing the eyebrow, the people's eyebrow there.
Can you give us a people's eyebrow? There's
I can.
a few people on set that enjoy that. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
the one.
So you're kind of looking at fingers, wrist, elbow, shoulder, and then that goes into that. And if you want to put a bit of footwork in, you can. It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely. It's just better.
Was the movie based or loosely based on a true story?
Was the movie loosely based on a true story? You get the internet, right?
Yeah,
you have access to the internet?
Before,
Yeah. What's your profession? Like, what's your day job?
I'm a footballer, so I play.
Can't tell.
We've had some huge names on the panel this year. None bigger than our next guest. Chris Hemsworth is a local boy made good. He starred in Hollywood blockbusters such as Thor, The Avengers, Star Wars and Rush. Better yet, he is the patron for the Australian Childhood Foundation. He's a Bulldog supporter. Can you put your hands together here live at Fed Square and make welcome Hollywood star Chris Hemsworth. Welcome to you, Chris.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Good to see you too. How you going?
Well, as Luke said, Chris, as far as your career's going, you're flying high in Tinseltown, but the heritage is in Melbourne's humble western suburbs.
It is,
How did
yeah.
the Bulldogs' allegiance come to pass?
My dad grew up in Footscray and played for Footscray many years ago, and was born in 1954, which is the last grand final the Bulldogs won.
Yep.
So we're due for one, obviously. But and that was, you know, it was in the blood, I guess.
You've had some great moments watching the Bulldogs play, and we just sort of picked some random vision of things that you loved over the journey. There's been some unbelievable players, I understand.
Oh, you did you?
This man's one of his favourites, and he decided to...
Do you know who that is, Chris?
Who's that? Is that...
Rob Murphy.
It is, yeah. I don't think I've seen that guy before. He's got a good kick, isn't it? Who is he?
That's Scotty Wine.
That's the one we had queued up, ready to go.
You are terrible.
Were
That's
you
a
a Luke
disgrace.
Darcy fan? Put it on the table.
I am now, absolutely.
Oh, great answer. We're
Of
we're
course.
tight.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been a fan of your work for a long time, especially on the big screen and your television work, but the stuff that stands out, head and shoulders above the rest of me, is the Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, me
stuff.
too.
You really did nail it. This is epic stuff.
Well, this
And
is...
you're
What am I wearing there? I've forgotten half my outfit.
not bad, but I reckon I've got one that might be better.
Gee whiz. Couldn't be much better than that, man.
Wow.
You cannot get better than that.
Oh, girls, dinner's on. Look at that.
Look at those hips, mate. Huh?
That's as good as it gets. Look at this guy.
Wow.
Chris, out of 10.
11. Look at that.
And
Oh, no.
yeah, the most awkward moment in Dancing with the Stars history. What is the duck doing? What is the duck doing?
Chris, you broke with tradition, though. Most guys our size, 6'5", we should just stand at the bar. Not get on
No,
the
I
dance
should have
floor.
stood at the bar. I should have stood at the bar.
I think you're both great
Did you
dancers.
see my scores? They ran 3, 4, 5. It never got any higher than that. My average was average, to say the least.
Have you got twins?
I do, yeah,
Understand?
yeah.
See, I've
Yeah.
got twins. Have you got any advice that you can impart that you can give
How
me?
old are your twins?
2.
2. No, you got to give me the advice. Mine are 7, 6,
I'll give you one
7
of them.
months. You give me one.
I'll give you one of the kids.
It's busy. They tag team,
It's
don't
tough.
they?
They do. It's like good cop, bad cop.
I know.
How are you going? Are you coping?
It's good fun. I got a 2.5-year-old as well, so it's busy in our house, but it's great. It's great. It's the best thing. yes.
And Chris, something very close to your heart. I know you're the patron for the Australian Childhood Foundation. Tell us a bit about why you're passionate about that and what we can do to support it.
Yeah, it's a non-profit organisation that's dedicated to helping children who have suffered from abuse, neglect and family violence. And we're launching a new campaign called Not Another Child, which is all geared towards not another child suffering from abuse. And we're asking people through social media to share their most memorable childhood experiences with the hashtag Not Another Child. So we can celebrate what childhood should be about, how important those moments are, but not to forget about the many children out there who don't get to experience that sense of love, joy and safety that we take for granted.
What was it that drew you to that cause?
My parents both worked for the charity. My dad's worked in social work and child protection for years and now both work there. But you know, our experiences as kids are what shapes our personalities. You know, they're the foundation for our opinions on the world, each other, everything. So if that's not a time of love and support, you know, it's one of abuse, neglect and devastating ripple effect onwards in life. So
It's a great job, Chris. Well done for that. Now, you're heading to the game today, I believe.
Yeah.
What's your tip? Do you give us the who's going to win? Who's going to win the Norm Smith, the margin? I want it all. We're taking notes
I
here.
don't know.
We're going to hold you accountable to
I
it
know,
as well.
right. I'm going to go for the Hawks because I'm from Melbourne and... you know, and that's my tip. But they're not very happy about that. We're in Melbourne. Why is there so many Sydney supporters here?
No tickets for you.
I don't know, but who are you going for? What's your tip?
I'm tipping the Swans.
The Swans, yeah?
I got a few more cheers. I just knew the Sydney supporters were behind me.
That's your crowd back there.
Absolutely, but it should be a great game, shouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I saw the Hawks play Port Adelaide last week, and that was the first game that I've seen in about 6 years. I've been overseas and have watched a game, and it was unbelievable. So.
Great stuff, Chris. Thanks for
Excited.
dropping by. I know you got your family here today, an absolute superstar, Chris Hemsworth, and a very classy Western Bulldogs supporter. We love every bit of that.
You're my favourite player.
Thank you, mate. We're tight. Look at this. We are tight.
Yes.
Time to head right now into the September Club where Beck Madden is standing by with a modern Dancing with the Stars recruit. She's got David Roden with her.
Right, I am just going to... Thanks, Eve. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. All on deck. Thank you.
You answered for me. No, I think false, but it's totally different dancing. But look, it starts Tuesday night and I can't wait to get into it. So it's a lot of fun and I'm looking forward to having more.
Tell me about the outfits. You're a little bit frightened because some are a little bit lairish, and the shoes. You have to wear like a heel. The men wear high heels, basically.
Yeah, look, the wardrobe I'm happy with, but it's just the footwear. So the Cuban heels, they give me nightmares at the moment. But look, I'm going to push through, and I'm not going to whinge too much.
Are you more nervous about Dancing with the Stars or lining up to play in the 07 Grand Final?
Before or after we lost? Well, yeah, probably definitely this. Obviously with football, we've had all the training and all the background.
You know what you're doing.
I know what I'm doing, but with dancing, it's the total opposite. But look, if I can leave the show learning how to dance and be able to tour my wife in the kitchen and at home, all that sort of stuff, I'll be a happy man.
You're very romantic. Better get your tip for today.
Yes, I'm going for Hawthorn. So good friends with Sean Burgoyne. So I hope he plays well, gets best on ground, and they can hopefully get the cup.
All right, well, we can't wait to see you on Dancing with the Stars. Of course, it starts on Channel 7 Tuesday.
Yeah, thanks, Beck. Lots of big names out there today, Mickey.
Yeah, good bloke, that Chris Hemsworth.
You should go have a beer with him, Mickey, in the September
It'll
club.
be confusing for the ladies. Temples in a paddock, they won't know which way to break. So I might have one with him later.
It's all building up to this magnificent day here. What a day we've got in store. The most livable city in the world here in Melbourne, and Grand Final Day. Don't go anywhere. Here's what's coming up next.
Coming up, what has Richo got in store during Gimme Something? We speak with controversial NFL superstar Terrell Owens, relive the best of this year's lie detector, and cross down to both camps as the teams arrive. Plus Ed Sheeran, Sir Tom Jones, Ben Roberts-Smith, and don't forget the 1-3 Cabs Grand Final Sprint.
Time to give me something. I might start with you tonight, Sam. What can you tell us that no one else out there knows?
Well, OK, officially, guys, the line is that Andrew Demetriou sees out the season. It may happen earlier, a lot earlier.
Next year, it is in the pipeline that they're going to play an international rules game, Australia v Ireland in New York.
There's even a proposal to play next year's game in New York.
There will be no Good Friday football in 2015.
What? Just a little bomb from Lingy.
But Good Friday football is on hold for at least another year.
The big story is Essendon and Sam.
ASADA has built a non-presence anti-doping rule violation case. There are no positive tests.
It means they have 10 days to explain in writing why they shouldn't be punished.
One Eddie Maguire on the mural. Now, I'm told it got sent back to the painter for some changes.
You're kidding.
He might have removed a couple of tins, Eddie, from the mural now.
Lingy's middle name is Neville.
Michael Voss will be the next coach of the Western Bulldogs. When this happens, play this bit of footage back.
Well, time for Give Me Some. We're breaking some big stories. Occasionally we get it horribly wrong.
Stand by.
Time to apologise.
Wait.
What were you on about?
Wait and see. He took a meeting. Don't want to talk about it.
What?
No,
Surely you're going to go back now. Surely you're taking that.
No, I stand by.
Where did you
It's a
pull that
bombshell.
from?
I know, but just go with it.
There was a couple of big ones there, but none bigger than Neville Ling.
Neville Ling.
Biggest.
That was my favourite.
I thought so too.
And we're going to do it right now on Grand Final Day. Time for Give Me Something. And Sam, Elaine, what can you tell us?
Well, guys, many speaking this week about Adam Goodes, the great Sydney champion and former co-captain, as though it is a foregone conclusion that today is his last ever game of football. I can say as we sit here right now, the opposite is true. And this is coming from people, multiple people inside Camp Goodes. Right now, Adam Goodes actually plays on next year regardless of the result today. Now, barring unforeseen circumstances, hopefully there are none of those.
Okay,
or
so
at 180.
Adam Goodes plays on next year unless something horrific happens on Grand Final Day.
Unless something horrific happens, unless there's a 180-degree change of heart. But this has been a sense and it's been building for some time.
Nice stories, Sam. Richo, you dominate this segment on Grand Final Day. You've broken the big stories, told us John Worsfold was no longer coach at West Coast.
Well, I don't bring much for the whole year, so I try and wait for Grand Final
They're
Day.
good when they happen. They're very good.
It's that time of year, Sammy, when players are changing clubs. We know Port Adelaide are looking for ruck assistants. They're looking at Paddy Ryder for Big Lobie to help him out. I'm hearing that they're also looking at Luke Loudon. He will go to Port Adelaide next year, the Hawthorn understudy. He hasn't been able to get many games at the Hawks. I'm hearing he's going to Port Adelaide.
Okay.
Luke Loudon.
Luke Loudon gone. You can lock
Write
that
it
in. If
down.
Richo declares it,
Put it down.
it's as good as done.
Grand final day gold from Richo.
I don't know.
All right, over to you, mate.
Look, this is a little self-indulgent, but the most fun I've had on this show this year is showcasing your catching ability, and we've done it pretty much every week, haven't we? I think I may have missed 1 week. I've picked out a couple. Do you mind if just once more for me, one more run around the block with a couple of my favourites? Have a look at these. Here, we got them here.
Worse than that in terms of ball handling?
That was a howler.
Yes, I have.
That's out.
Really?
Bang.
This guy here.
That came from Rio.
Got you a beauty. Got you from Brazil. I reckon this guy might have had a couple. Yes, caught that, Richo. I told you I'd play it every week, and I did. I want you to watch this footage and tell me where he goes wrong here. This is now, can you... That was... That, Richo...
Should I have been there or there? What was
I think you just actually went with your hands, mate.
Did I?
You just
Should have
got to
been
let it
so
come,
much.
turn your body a little bit more.
How's the crowd?
Mate, they love it. They love
Giving you the Bronx cheers there, mate.
Hey, Warnie went with Mick, but I told you last week, Mick, that...
You're going to play it one more time, or
I'll get a look at it.
Can I do it?
Well, give it another
Just
go.
one more. Here it is, to boot the whole thing home.
What happened then, Mick?
I told you last week. I was getting closer and closer and closer.
What did you do?
I just caught it. Have a look at it
you do?
again.
That's outrageous.
Have a look again. I just caught it. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at that,
You have saved that all year. You could have played it week 1 and saved us the pain.
This is last week on Give Me Something. I told Mick last week that I was going to catch it. And I'll catch that soon.
It's an optical illusion.
Really? What do you think?
Yes, I'm sure you will, Richo.
I will. I'll
Dare to
catch it
dream.
soon.
One day, Richo.
There you go, Mick.
You got me a beauty.
Gotcha, mate.
You officially got me.
It took you 25 weeks, Richo, and you hit back. Hey, I'll give you something tonight, right after the grand final. Our mate here is going to be starring in $1 Million Minute. I'm told didn't cover himself in glory. Let's take a look.
Team of the century. Wayne. Me. Who was the 1993 Victorian Father of the Year? Timothy.
That would be me.
It would be you as well. Which Geelong player's appearance earned him the nickname Paddle Pop Lion? Tim.
That would be Cameron Lee.
It was indeed, Lingy.
You can't even get your own nickname.
My buzzer was broken then. Did you all see Duck's score, though? Wayne was on 5.
Okay.
So just ease up on me a little bit.
Comes
Paddle Pop
last.
Line before, but now it's mentioned. That's not bad. That is one of my favourite lookalikes, mate. That's one of my favourite. And it's not, I'll tell you this, your performance was bad, but it's not the worst performance I've ever seen on
Yes.
on a game show.
Yes.
Don't you reckon? Can you think of anything slightly worse than that?
Oh, I can think of one.
There's Bill of Fortune.
No P's.
I'll have a B for Bob.
A B, there are no B's.
S for Sam.
No S's. Matthew, this phrase is...
Don't know.
Matthew, you could work with that as well in the techo room and, you know,
I was just
that
a young,
you're getting them all
I
right.
was just a young boy off the boat from Tassie.
I
trying to
love that
make my
picture.
way.
That is my
Richo, that's
favourite.
all right. Hey, I've got to give you
Sam?
something. And while Das has just thrown a few in my direction, I'm going to throw one back in his. So
Be careful.
this is yesterday. The chairman of the Channel 7 network, the CEO of Channel 7 are down, obviously for grand final week and to take part in it all, but also to have some pretty high-powered meetings. And they've walked into the Channel 7 boardroom all set for a big chat about the future of the network and all that sort of stuff.
Few years coming up.
Absolutely, Richo. What do they find in there? Luke Darcy asleep on the couch with his shoes off, feet up on the couch having a sleep. Is that true?
No.
That is true. I'm not going to deny that. Mr. Stokes, as you now know, that's to me.
What
I
were you
wanted a
doing?
half an hour power nap. I've been up since 4:30. I was working my way through. Had to sleep in the boardroom. In walks Mr. Stokes, who I can say is, and our CEO Tim Warner and Lewis Martin, the three of them. So a little bit awkward. I can say Mr. Stokes is backing Hawthorn today after our conversation. But,
Just a nana nap.
Kidding himself.
A disgrace.
You can't do that,
Did they
Daz.
forgive you?
Yeah, no, they're all's good. All's good. We're fine. So they love the
Thank
Saturday
God.
night team. We're going beautifully. Hey, just a quick one. I'm not convinced Cyril Rioli will still play today. I'll just leave you with that little give me something.
Really?
Still a chance, in my mind, that he is a late
comes in
withdrawal today. That would be Simpkin would come back in
You
and
cannot
play
just throw that out there.
It's just a little give me something on the way to the September club.
Do you know when he was last tested?
You might have even had a little training run today, Cyril.
Right.
So
Is that
just
right?
something for you there. Let's go into the September club, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Beck handles this one. Our next guest, Terrell Owens, is one of the best, most controversial. He's an NFL superstar, a 6-time Pro Bowler, and he's with Beck Madden now.
Terrell, it is so great to have you here at the AFL Grand Final this year. Welcome. What do you make of it so far?
First of all, thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to the game today. It's a big crowd I see, but again, I've only been familiarizing myself with the game for a few days. Corey, who also brought me over here and introducing me to AFL, and so I'm getting a day's tour of it.
So what do you think of our guys? Do you reckon they're as tough as you guys or not?
These guys probably are tougher than we are.
No.
I mean, considering what they do, I mean, they play with a lot of skill, a lot of passion, a lot of aggression, and they're doing this with no padding. So, again, I'm sure there's a lot of injuries that are sustained with this sport, but, again, these guys are tough.
Terrell, you are world famous for some of your, I got to say, awesome celebrations. Do you think about how you're going to celebrate before the match, or does it just come naturally?
You know, I think sometimes it's impromptu, and then sometimes it's premeditated. It depends on my mood and who we're playing that week. But again, I've always tried to, play with a lot of passion, and I think a lot of my touchdown celebrations, that's where they come from.
Do you have a likeness of popcorn?
For whatever reason, I do. Now more so than ever. I mean, I can't go to a movie theater without eating popcorn. But again, the thing behind the popcorn phrase, get your popcorn ready, is because I knew that a lot of people, just like everybody here is coming to this stadium, they're coming to see a show. So I try to create and try to consider myself somewhat of an entertainer, a performer.
I think I'll agree with that. Of course, everyone loves NFL here in Australia, and you can see it on 7 Mate every Monday morning. That's certainly going to cue your Monday artist. Thanks very much. Enjoy the day.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.
Oh, the great T.O., he's an absolute star, that bloke. One of the best wide receivers in NFL history. Yeah. I love my NFL too. It's great. Monday morning, 7 Mate. I always tune in. I've got my little fantasy team too, so I keep a close eye on that one, Dustin.
You know someone's famous when they're doing interviews in sunnies, I reckon.
Oh, you're good enough to do that when you're the great T.O. Hey, something we've enjoyed all year has been BT's lie detector. Let's take a look at some of the best of Bristol.
Does Jake King generally tell the truth?
Yes, with sugar.
Now, as I said to you, Trent, this is a lie detector test. Does Jake King generally tell you the truth?
No.
That's better. When you go to the toilet, do you leave the door open all the time?
Yeah, I do. People need to know when you go in the toilet. I've been told whether at land or sea, you always let your wind run free, so...
Do you like Ryan Crowley?
Do I like? No.
Do you like the way Ryan Crowley plays?
No.
Twins, do you have a favourite one?
Yes.
You do favour one over the other?
Yes.
So one twin's no good?
No, that isn't true.
Anzac Day medal.
Yep.
Big day, you win it.
Yep.
You must be thinking about David Zaharakis' iron pot. No. Were you thinking that?
No.
Are your Melbourne teammates better blokes than the Adelaide teammates?
Yes.
So...
I did lie, that was a lie.
Yeah. Are you filthy that Channel 7 didn't pursue you to be on the hit show Celebrity Splash?
Yes. Yes. I was robbed.
You had something to offer?
I've done a horsey off the high board.
A horsey?
Cop that, Channel 7.
Mark Beretta does your sport on Sunrise.
Yep.
Do you know more about sport than him?
No.
Have you ever had any form of cosmetic surgery?
Yes.
Well, as a matter of interest, which part?
Is that a yes or no question?
No, just which part first.
Is this a personal question or is it?
Is it a
yes,
facial?
Facial.
So, I put it to you, Nick Del Santo.
Yes.
You are a Botox freak.
I've never had Botox.
So, you've had surgery.
Yes.
So you're addicted to cosmetic surgery.
I think I will be later in life, yes.
Really? A young D's fan sent Jack Watts $2.50 of her own pocket money. Did she pay too much for Jack?
No.
Have you watched the grand final replay?
Yes.
Is there a particular part of the grand final replay that you've watched?
Many times.
The goal.
Blue Brewster's goal.
You have watched the Isaac Smith goal over and over. I put it to you more than 50 times. Yes or no?
No.
Straight after the break, international pop sensation Ed Sheeran joins the panel live at Fed Square. After singing for us on this day 2 years ago, he's back. Stevie Motlop drops by for an electrifying live performance. There's plenty of great grand final day stories, but none better than this man, Matthew Spanger, who features in Discovered.
It's a big achievement, so you've got to acknowledge that you've gotten this far. I think that's important. But at the same time, you know, the season's not over.
And we're not far away from crossing out to the Swans team hotel as they leave for the G.
Carlton Draft, Front Bar Folklore.
2011 Grand Final Day. He took the words right out of our mouths, leaving the 100,000 strong crowd speechless and also partially deaf. Andrew Demetriou, how did this decision come about?
A year earlier, we had the drawn grand final,
Yes.
Collingwood St Kilda, and we had to get an act within a week.
And you did.
We
Lionel
did.
Richie. Bang, one
A
for
year
one.
down the track, had Bryan Adams,
Yes.
Green Day,
Yes.
and Meatloaf.
Oh dear.
And I've got to say, there's a lot of support for Green Day and for Bryan Adams. And I thought,
Yes.
I'm on a roll here.
You haven't used your veto
And
power.
I did. The 9 votes, Meatloaf.
Do you think you've got Angry Anderson and the Batmobile covered?
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
He's easily the worst act that's ever performed at the grand final.
If it had been a draw, that grand final,
Yeah.
would you have invited him back for the next week?
Well, I doubt it.
Did it have anything to do with your resignation?
It wasn't one of my finest hours, Mick, but contributing factor, I would think.
This has been a taste of Front Bar Folklore. Carlton Draft, celebrating 150 years of brewery fresh beer.
Here they are, Mick. Some of the big moments.
One of the great moments indeed. Meatloaf. It throws up something interesting every time, doesn't it? The entertainment.
That
You
was
never know
amazing.
what you're going to get.
This was
That
good.
was the
was
high
so
water
good.
This
mark.
was really good.
Oh, woman.
He nailed it, Lionel. He had the whole crowd up, Mickey boy.
It's a pressure gig. There's no doubt about it. Could go either way.
Don't worry about it because we're in great shape today. Our next guest, he's a genuine star, 3-time Grammy Award winner. He's got some of the biggest hits in the world. Listen to the crowd here at Fed Square. They're going nuts. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome the superstar, Ed Sheeran. Here he is.
Hello.
Hey, Ed.
Thanks for coming in.
Great to see you, Ed.
You got your cup of coffee?
He's a rock star with a cup of tea.
Indeed. You've got your little cappuccino
I got my
or
coffee,
something there?
yeah. I've got my. I'm still jet
That's
lagged.
the real football.
The real one.
Not that Rambo rubbish. It's...
No. But it's Sharon, so it's kind of me still.
Hey, Ed, I'm a bit confused as to who I'm talking to here because there's a striking resemblance.
We don't need the redhead gags.
Well,
this
who
early,
knows?
do we?
Were you in London in 1991?
Well, yeah, I was.
Yeah, were
actually.
you?
Yeah.
Were you? Did you come across any females else who might have been ginger as well?
Oh, no, I'd, gentleman never tells.
We might need a DNA test.
Yeah.
You basically need to catch up with 23 years of Christmas presents.
Right, done.
Ed, we've had some good Liggy lookalikes over the year. I've got some of my favourites just out here. These are brilliant. Hello. Well, that's a bit much.
Wow. Yeah, that's a bit much.
I like that one. That's creepy. That's a Halloween Lingy. That's Martina Navratilova Lingy. That
assistant
was when he
coach
launched his coaching career.
I feel like things are changing though, because I saw a ginger kid the other day in Bristol, braces, spots, ginger hair, holding hands with a very attractive girl.
Yeah.
We are moving forward.
That's a win for everybody.
Hey, Ed, you've performed with some superstars and collaborated with them around. Who have you been most nervous to work with? We just saw Pharrell there, and you've worked with so many people.
See, Pharrell, you're not really nervous to work with him. You just feel very uncool around him. You kind of start checking what you're wearing and being like, ooh. But he's the type of person that can wear anything and pull it off. And you see sometimes what he wears, and you're like, maybe I can pull that off. And you can't.
We had
Any nerves for today, though? In front of 100,000 people? I'm sure you played in front of big crowds.
Well, I'm not playing to my audience. I'm playing to football fans. So I hope they're on it. I hope they enjoy it.
They'll love you. They'll love you.
Yeah, no, but
You've done
I
the
don't
closing
know.
ceremony of the
But
Olympics.
do you know what? Because you were mentioning the meatloaf thing before, and it was the best performance because you're still talking about it. It's still.
If you could curate a concert for today, take
Yeah.
yourself out of this, who would you handpick?
For Australia?
Yeah.
Missy Higgins, I'd
Yep.
say, definitely. And we get a clap, nice one. Colin Hay.
Yes.
Colin Hay, he's fantastic. He's
Nice.
fantastic. And Michael Gudinski doing
really?
something.
Just standing there?
Just well, 'cause he
Together.
kind of looks like a homeless Santa at the moment. So
Homeless
like,
Santa,
he's just
right.
growing a beard. So having him sing "Santa Claus is Coming to Town" in an Australian accent, it'd be amazing.
Pre-game.
This is doing
next
the rounds
year.
at the moment, Ed, because the Sharon is the iconic piece of pigskin in front of you there, and I'm not familiar with a meme. That's not really where I'm at, but that is apparently gone all around Australia.
Has it? Because that's the first time I've seen it.
It's an album cover right there.
Sharon. Yeah. Well, no, we have a ball that says Sharon. Like,
really? You're right.
They made it because they gave me one of the balls to take promo photos with, and I said, oh, wouldn't it be funny if they changed it to Sharon? And then they said, oh, the people that made it have no sense of humour, so they won't do it. And then they did it. So they have a sense of humour.
That is how big you are, and this man has sold millions of albums right here in Australia, including, get your hands on this. This is Ed Sheeran's latest. It's called X, and we love you out here in Australia.
I
Ed.
like this promo stuff that you're doing. It's good. It's working out.
And Ed's going to be back here next year. He's an absolute star. We had the great pleasure of spending some time with him yesterday. If you're in Brisbane, March 20th or 24th in Sydney, we're going to be sold out here at Odd Labour in about 2 minutes, and we'll see you after the grand final siren as well.
Who should I go for?
Well, that's an interesting question.
Your call.
Hey, can I still root for St Kilda? There's still a chance?
No, you can. You've got to stick with your team.
Stick with your club.
Hey, Ed,
I'll go half and half. I'll go first half Swans, second half Hawks. We'll do that.
Hey, we've got to get a mention. How good is it to work with Tommy Jones today? What a legend he is.
Dude, that guy, you have a conversation with him and you kind of like, he's a really sound dude, he's Welsh, he kind of does all of that, and he'll just be talking and be like, oh, so like when I was on The Simpsons, and you're like, I forgot about that. And then Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Friends with Elvis.
He's done everything.
He's got stories, man. It's great. Yeah.
And you're doing a duet with Tom Jones today. Any little hint where we're heading or not?
I mean, it's funky. It's funky.
Right.
It's funky. It's definitely more funky than I'll ever get, and we have a bit of a boogie.
Oh, nice. Hey, we're in great shape for the grand final entertainment, and the after party will see Ed and Tom Jones as well. You're going to enjoy this, Ed, as we let you go. We think we've discovered our own superstar. He's one of the most talented AFL players.
Oh, no, I heard him sound check. He's fantastic.
He's going beautifully, isn't he? His name is Stevie Motlop, Geelong superstar, and he's got a version of Mike Brady's anthem up there, Kazali. Take it away, Stevie Motlop. Thanks, Ed.
Why you work to earn a living, but on weekends comes a time you can do whatever turns you on. Get out and clear your mind. Me, I like football, and there's a lot of things around, but when you line them up together, the footy wins hands down. Up there, cause 80, in there and fight. Out there and at 'em, show 'em your might. Up there, cause 80, Don't let him in. Fly like an angel. You're out there to win. Now there's a lot more things to football that really meets the eye. There are days where you could give it up. There are days when you could fly. You either love it or you hate it, depending on the score. But when your team runs out or they kick a goal, how's the mighty roar? Up there, kiss 80. In there and fight. Out there and at 'em. Show 'em you might. Up there, kiss 80. Don't let 'em in. Fly like an angel. You're out there to win.
Stevie, how good was that? Give Stevie a round of applause. Stevie, how long have you been working on that? That was sensational, mate.
I had about 2 days to do it, Richo, so ended up well, didn't it?
It ended up really well. Yeah, we had Ed Sheeran up there. He said you sounded really good at sound check. That's a thrill for you.
Yeah, he did. Ed Sheeran or Lingy?
Oh, Lingy or Ed.
See which one was which up there. No, it was good. It was good.
Sensational. Give Stevie another round of applause. That was sensational, mate. We've got to get you a record deal. Stevie Motlop.
Thanks, Richo. He was fantastic, wasn't he?
What a talented young man that bloke is.
Brilliant stuff. Well done to Stevie Motlop, and we are building to the 2014 Toyota AFL Grand Final. Don't go anywhere.
There's plenty more still to come on this special Grand Final edition of the Toyota Pre-Game Show. 10 years in the making, what does it mean to finally make a Grand Final for Hawthorn's Matt Spanger?
It's a big achievement, so you've got to acknowledge that you've gotten this far. I think that's important. But at the same time, the season's not over.
We'll keep crossing back inside the September Club to speak with all of today's big-name guests, including the one and only Olivia Newton-John. And we'll hear from both camps as they arrive with Hawks assistant Brett Ratton and Stuart Dew from the Swans.
Discovered. An opportunity for us, the players, to tell our own stories through our own words. It's our chance where we, the players, get to show a part of our true selves and share the things that matter most to us. This year, we've shared some of our innermost thoughts and experiences. Dane Swan is seen as a prankster, but we got to see someone who cares about family and giving back. Sudanese-born Majak Dor told us how much he cares about overcoming his own obstacles while also helping today's youth. When Nick Riewold's sister was struck down with a life-threatening illness, he learned how important the little things in life are and just how courageous the human spirit is. Ahmed Saad made a life-changing mistake, but that didn't stop him from starting over and not giving up on his AFL dreams. His is a story of redemption. Buddy and Nick Del Santo opened up about changing clubs and how it was one of the hardest decisions they've ever had to make. Housemates Jeremy Cameron and Devon Smith took us out on the river, their home away from home. Talk about country boys and the big smoke. Sean Burgoyne took us on a spiritual trip to one of the most beautiful places on earth, while also proving how important our Indigenous stars are to the youth up north. Players were kind enough to allow us into their homes, and we found it didn't matter how big a superstar they are on the field. At home, they were just brothers, sons and dads. I'm so proud of the players. In a game with so much scrutiny, it's not always easy to open up. But the players who've been part of the Discovered series were able to tell their own unique stories with their own personal touch.
Yeah, big congratulations to our Discovered team who have done an amazing job, and thanks to Luke Bull and the AFL Players Association, Luke Bull voicing that over for their support. It's been a great insight into players get a bad rap sometimes. We've been able to get into their homes and they've opened their hearts to us today. And today, there's probably no better story for me than Matt Spanger. It's taken him 10 years to play 50 games. He's now in a grand final, and we followed him right after the prelim final last Saturday night to find out a bit more about Matt Spanger.
Boys were up and about. It's one of the more positive feelings I've had. Great vibe. Boys are genuinely excited. Clarko brought us all in and just told us, the significance of what we were about to do. I suppose for me personally, not having played in a preliminary final before, it's really comforting having all those blokes around you who have been through it many times, and you can sort of lean on them a bit.
Second prelim final underway. Hawthorn and Port. The commitment here. Constant mark play on goal. 28-point Hawthorn lead. Port are back within 4 points. Hawthorn have made the grand final.
The fact that Port is such a quality side, and geez, they were coming hard at the end. It was a bit of relief that we hung on. It's a big achievement, so you've got to acknowledge that you've gotten this far. I think that's important. But at the same time, the season's not over, so you still stay pretty focused with a job to do. You're sitting around, you're talking to the media, but you're also talking to your family and friends, and so it's nice to enjoy that moment. Footy has its many highs, but also has many lows, so you might as well enjoy the good times while you got them.
This is God, that's so God.
Lucky enough, I've got a really close family, and I feel like it almost means more to them than it does to me.
He left home at 18 to go to West Coast, and he had to grow up very quickly. He was delisted from the West Coast, and it was a mental thing that he had to overcome. I never dreamt that he'd ever be an AFL footballer who'd play AFL grand final.
Even though he's had the delisting and had some disappointment, we've said to him, all these falls along the way, it's all character building. One stage, how much character do I need?
We love him. It doesn't make any difference to us whether he wouldn't have made it or not. To us, we're so proud of him.
Even before you get drafted, I suppose, you want to play an AFL premiership. I've been lucky enough to be surrounded by success, which has probably just fueled my desire, to be honest. As far as fears are concerned, it doesn't really exist for me. I've got nothing to lose. We're in the grand final, you're going to go down swinging if you're going to go down. But at the end of the day, if you play well enough, get the result.
Oh, it's a great story. As Matty said in that piece, he's been surrounded by success. Everywhere he goes, the teams are successful. He's been an emergency twice for a grand final. He's a ripping bloke. The Hawks fans love him. It's great to see him out there today. He's got a big role to play, Lingy.
Yeah, huge role to play today. Good on him. Fantastic effort, perseverance.
And such an insight to hear his dad say that he had a mental barrier there to overcome. Well, here he is today in Game 19 at his third club, Game 19 for Hawthorn, and he could be a premiership player by up stumps.
Don't forget, you've got a couple of grand final tickets up your sleeve, and the crowd are ready.
It's going to be harder and harder to choose.
Could be a very popular decision, or it could go horribly wrong for you.
I'm going to get mugged down there. We get rolled.
Look out. Hey, we've got all the news covered here. Mark Stevens is Channel 7's chief football reporter, and he's outside the Swans hotel at the moment. I think they're about to board the bus. Welcome to you, Steve-O.
Well, guys, they've just had a team meeting here at the hotel for about 20 minutes and leaving. They'll take about 10 minutes to get to the game. The Swans have been strolling along Chapel Street all morning. Business as usual. It's now time to get down to business, in fact, of trying to win an AFL grand final. Security here, police are here, a handful of supporters as well. The mood is confident, extremely confident and relaxed. But as I said, it's time for business at the MCG and the Swans are on their way. Back to you.
Yeah, so the Swans are on their way. They're on the bus. They get a police escort to the MCG. We're going to get back to the September Club now. Beck Madden has a couple of special guests. One, a Collingwood star. The other, the face of Maya Fashions on the field.
Trav, obviously the season didn't end up how you wanted it to end. Is it a bit disappointing, and are you looking forward to pre-season?
Yeah, it's extremely disappointing, and I'm a little bit jealous of the two teams competing today. But all the best to the sides, and a little bit disappointing for the guys that have missed out for Hawthorn, with Segler obviously moving out for McAvoy and those guys. So look forward to seeing the game. Sun's out, so yeah, pre-season, yeah, it's hell.
It's a long one too.
Yeah, obviously the season's been pushed back with the World Cup next year, so a 6-month pre-season, so really looking forward to pounding the pavement.
I wish you the best of luck. Now, Beck, you are the Maya Fashions on the field for the Spring Carnival this year, so congratulations on that. And I've got to say, 10 out of 10 for you guys at the Brownlow. You looked absolutely beautiful. Are you looking forward to the races, Beck?
Yeah, I'm so excited. I really can't wait for it to start now. And obviously the end of one amazing Australian sport and a new one starts, so we're very spoilt in Melbourne.
And I think this year would be hard for you at the races because you're going to have one eye on fashion, sort of one eye on the horses as well.
Yeah, I'll certainly be looking out for the horses. I'm obviously really excited to judge my fashions on the field, but every spare chance I get, I'll be watching the track.
Maybe a little bit jealous with those beautiful horses going round?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'll be watching for some of them when they finish racing. I'll be putting my hand up for them.
Well, a lot of racehorses go on to make beautiful, beautiful show horses, don't they?
They do. There's a lot of successful off-the-track horses competing at the moment.
Well, I can't wait to see you, no doubt, at the races, you guys. And, of course, our spring racing carnival resumes on Saturday. Of course, it is the Turnbull Stakes next Saturday, and it begins with a live broadcast from the morning show.
Yeah, thanks, Beck. Lots of action down there in the September Club. And
can we change it up a bit now? Do you mind? It's our last show. You know, I've been cracking open the Dipper files recently. I really love this segment. You keep thinking I'm going to run out, but I don't. This is our special Brownlow edition.
Hello. Well. One of my best friends in Melbourne. I'm excellent. Mr. Kennett.
Yes.
Andrew, please come closer.
This is Edward, not Andrew, but that's all right.
My apologies.
Would you like to start this whole segment again?
No, I'm fine.
That is rolled gold. That's as good as any.
Yeah. Do you think Jeff was serious?
Hey,
yes. Yes, I think he was.
Yeah, my favourite thing, we had Dipper on the panel last week, and as we were playing the best of Dipper, he said, I was the greatest. I was the best.
He genuinely enjoyed it.
Most people, when you get a name wrong, you sort of go into your shell, not Dipper. No, that's all right. We just bust on.
He just pushes right on and goes through. I've got to say, it's a very sad bit of news now. The man sitting alongside, who's been with us all year, is taking off. He's going for a bit of Dennis and Bruce time. Friday night, I understand he's just ditched us here on the Saturday night team. And you're out, eh? Is that true?
I've got to go and do a bit at the game at the MCG. It's, there is a game of footy on today.
He's changed.
The game's ages away.
I am going to miss you all.
The game's ages away and you're leaving us now.
Well, I've got to do a little bit of analysis, get a feel of the ground, that sort of stuff.
Saturday night version, when he's cool, he refuses to wear a tie. But, mate, you head in there with Bruce and Dennis. You've got to whack the tie on, which will be a challenge for you.
I do have to put a tie on, you're right, and I'll do it easy, no worries at all.
Given you're leaving us, should we actually give you that challenge, please? Because look at this. We've seen this during the year, Cameron. A grown man struggling with a piece of fabric. You've got a lot to answer for.
Well, hang on a second. Normally the tie's tied for me, so I don't have to, and I don't wear one too often, but this is not part of the bargain,
This is your
Sammy.
challenge now. Do it now. Given you're leaving us,
I'll just do it over like this, and all you do is a bit of a cross here, a bit of over I don't even need to look. It's not really not that hard. I can take it to the sides.
That's not a Windsor. I want a Windsor.
Oh, that's the old school knot, that one.
I think we need the double Windsor, don't you? Like Luke's.
A round of applause for actually tying a tie. It's not that hard. Everyone loves Lingy. Triple Premiership champion. That is the Sydney bus, guys. It is on its way. Police escort to the MCG. And look at the day here in Melbourne. 24 degrees, guys. Could not be any better, Richard.
This is set up for the best grand final we've had in a long, long time, I reckon. 24 degrees. Both these teams, just the two of the best teams I've seen of recent memory, apart from your Geelong team, Slingy, but can't wait for this one.
This will be a ripper.
They've
Absolute
had
ripper.
Perfect preparation, the Sydney Swans, and they are not far away from entering the great MCG, but we've been blessed this year with some great highlights in 2014.
After the break, Victoria Cross recipient Ben Roberts-Smith drops by for an exciting Anzac Day announcement. 18 years since last singing on Grand Final Day, we'll speak with Olivia Newton-John while our entertainment reporter Campbell Brown tames the legendary Sir Tom Jones. Plus 1-3 Cabs Grand Final Sprint Heats.
Yes, the countdown is on. You could not get a better day here in Melbourne. 24 degrees, sun is shining. That is the Swans bus. Live pictures there as they enter the MCG. Massive crowd building. Swans and Hawks fans watching all around the country, including around the world, where our troops are stationed at the moment.
Hi everyone, I'm Chief Petty Officer Andrew Stutt, currently deployed to the Middle East, and I want to let you know that I'm a big Swans fan and thoroughly enjoying today's grand final.
Hi, I'm Captain Alex Madison. I'm currently deployed to the Middle East. Just want to send a quick shout out to my parents back home and my beautiful girlfriend Monique, and let everyone know I'll be cheering for the Hawks.
Hi, I'm LAC Nick Cheer and I'm currently deployed in the Middle East. Just want to let you know that I'm going for the Swannies. I'd like to say hi to all my family and friends and my girlfriend Ash.
G'day, it's Kate from Afghanistan. I wish I was there cheering you on today. Good luck, boys.
Yeah, g'day, it's Matthew. I'm also in Afghanistan. Proud, passionate Hawthorn member. Loving the Every Moment campaign. Good luck to Alistair Clarkson and his boys.
G'day guys, Eamon here, deployed to Kabul, Afghanistan. I just want to wish the Mighty Hawks a huge day in the grand final. I really hope you get there, fellas, and get up. Jared Ruffhead, you're a beautiful man. I hope you kick a bag for me. If I can't watch it, I'll at least be there in spirit, but hopefully we get it over here. Cheers, fellas, good luck.
Come the Swans!
Go the Hawks!
Go Swannies, come on.
Go the Hawks! You can do it!
That is brilliant. Fantastic to hear from our troops. And this is the Camp Gallipoli Anzac Flame that will journey parts of Australia. And that, on the eve of the Anzac Day next year, Aussies of all ages will gather at campsites across the country to appreciate the significance of the flame and honour the original Anzacs who made the ultimate sacrifice 100 years ago. It is a wonderful initiative and something you can sign up for right now. And to tell us more, please welcome the most highly decorated member of the Australian Defence Force and the Victoria Cross recipient, Corporal Ben Robert-Smith joins us. Welcome, Ben.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Ben. Great to see you, Ben.
How you going?
Very interested as a footy fan, and welcome, thank you for joining us, about the right balance between Anzac Day and the number of games. It used to be just one game, Essendon and Collingwood. Now we're seeing more and more. What do you like, Ben?
Oh, look, I think any sport is a good representation of the commitment to remembrance that Australians have for that Anzac spirit, but also for Defence Force personnel that are serving currently around the world.
It's a massive milestone next year, 100 years since the landing at Anzac Cove in Gallipoli. What does it mean to you with someone who's dedicated their life? It's going to be a big milestone next year.
Yeah, it is. I mean, 100 years, the centenary is an important thing. It's certainly a big part of who we are as Australians. Coming from a military background, it means a great deal to me personally, but I think more importantly, what it represents in relation to where our values were founded and who we are as Australians and what we do for each other. It's something that certainly will resonate, particularly at the 100-year mark, with all Australians.
Ben, it's a fantastic idea, Camp Gallipoli. Ordinary Australians get to get that Anzac spirit, Anzac Day Eve. Just tell us a little bit about what us Aussies can do when we go to these camps on Anzac Day Eve.
Yeah, look, I mean, Camp Gallipoli is a great initiative started by the RSL.
Yeah.
And what it is it's supplying an opportunity to educate and remember those Anzacs from 100 years ago for all Australians, because clearly we can't all get to Gallipoli in 2015. The ballots happened, so the way to get around that is these camps have been established in 7 major cities around Australia and in Auckland, New Zealand. And we're encouraging families to go and take their children so that we pass on that spirit of remembrance.
Sleep with the swags, get the swags out, do we?
Yeah, so there's plenty of space set aside to get out with the swags under the stars and actually wake up on Anzac morning in a location where the flame, again, will be ignited and the dawn service will take place.
Yeah. We should all get involved. Ben, I got the opportunity to actually go to Afghanistan to entertain the troops. And it was one of the most incredible experiences of my life. And we're a country with a proud military history. And it was just extraordinary to see all our men and women representing us over there on that stage. You would be so proud. It's just exceptional, the work they do and the way they conduct themselves. I was just astonished by it. And I remember doing a gig in TK where you guys were based, and it's the only gig I've ever done where everyone in the audience has a gun. Apart from one in Frankston, I did once. But
did that make you nervous?
It was a little intimidating when these guys are standing there going, yeah. But it was an extraordinary experience, and I just want to thank you for everything you do. And the guys are off to Syria now, is that?
Oh, look, I've been...
Yeah, give them a round, come on.
Thanks. Oh, everybody's done a great job. I think given current events around the world, unfortunately, the way that these threats are developing. I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. So Australian Defence Force personnel will certainly be active for the next few years.
Ben, turn our mind to football. You're the #1 ticket holder of the Fremantle Dockers. Would love to run out there alongside Ben. That would have been that would have been pretty handy. You grew up in Western Australia. You played a bit of rugby as well. You're going to enjoy the grand final today?
Absolutely. Look, it's only the second time I've been able to go to an AFL grand final, so really looking forward to it. Great weather. I've got to say, I think the Swannies are probably going to get up today.
Okay.
What makes you say that? You say it with conviction.
Yeah, well, I think they've been probably the better team in the second half of the year. I think they've really come home strongly.
Yep.
Hey, Ben, that's a pretty big rig you've got there. Most of the SAS boys have all got big rigs, but look, have a look at this. That's not bad, but
that's pretty good shape.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good shape.
But now,
yeah, thanks.
I think I've got you covered. I think I've got you covered. Clearly, we haven't come through the same training schools.
Oh, no.
But,
hey, Ben, how long would it take to get him into decent shape? Honestly.
Oh, mate, I don't want to put a number on it.
Nick is very good for team morale.
I've broken 2 personal trainers. I'll just let you know that.
Great to catch up with you, Ben. Appreciate you dropping by and telling us about all of the great stuff that's happening. Have a good day today on Grand Final today.
Thanks very much.
Victoria Cross recipient Ben Roberts-Smith, one of our great Australians, as the Sydney Swans enter the bowels of the MCG and gear up for this magnificent grand final. Looking forward to it. There's Buddy, who's got more profile, more photos than anyone we've ever seen before on grand final.
Has there ever been a player go into a grand final with as much pressure and publicity as Lance Franklin? I think he'll lap it up. I think he's going to have a huge day, Buddy. I think he's going to be the one. As
they enter the stadium here, and you can imagine the nerves now. It is all about grand final. After the break, we're going to be heading to the MCG to speak with Stewie Dew, the Sydney assistant coach.
Number 31, Stuart Dew.
In the spring of 2007, Dew tipped the scales at over 120 kilograms. At that time, Hawks coach Alistair Clarkson tempts the former Port Premiership player out of retirement. Stewie drops 20 kilograms in the 2008 season, and his gut-busting leadership becomes critical to the Hawks in the 2008 finals. On grand final day, Stewie rises to the challenge to tip the scales Hawthorn's way by kicking 2 magical goals in the third quarter.
Now Dew could kick this, and he has. He's had the best 5 minutes of his footy life.
In those scintillating minutes, Stuart Dew proved that on the one day that matters, he is Mr. September.
Coming up, we find out what Aussie icon Olivia Newton-John thinks of Darce's Grease Lightning performance when she joins us live. We'll soak up the nerves from down in the rooms as the players begin to arrive. The grand final sprint heats and our final say on today's mouth-watering clash. Then join Bruce, Lingy Duck and the team as we build to the opening bounce before Sir Tom Jones and Ed Sheeran perform live.
Yes, back to the MCG now. This is the Pro Glide Precision Kick to win a 25-year AFL Silver membership and a Toyota AFL Grand Final package for the next 3 years. In fact, a box thanks to Gillette and Chemist Warehouse. How are they going, our crew? Not looking great just at this stage.
Yeah, they're not
laid up.
Just warming up.
He looks a bit more. That was Stewie Dew, I think. Didn't quite get there. Good prize up for the grab. No joy, the precision kick to a win this year. Unfortunately, not going to be the case. We're building up to the 2014 Toyota AFL Grand Final on a beautiful day. Richo, you would have nailed that kick with that team yesterday.
It would have been pretty easy, the Gillette kick to win. It's pretty hard, let's be honest about that. But having a look at that, they butchered it. But I'll tell you one bloke who didn't. A couple of years ago on the Toyota Tour down in Warrnambool, Joey Montagna from the Saints was asked to kick it into the boot of the Toyota Hilux. Have a look at this. That was 50 metres, that kick.
No CGI in that.
Look at the strut from Joey afterwards. He loved it.
There weren't many Joey Montagnas out on the tree in those kicks we just saw.
We've seen a lot of the Sydney players. They've been on the bus. They are at the MCG. There is the man, Cyril. Ooh. He's got the backpack on. Sam Mitchell looks pretty cool as he enters the rooms, and you can imagine the nervous tension going through the minds of these guys right now, Richo.
Yeah, they'll be pretty steely, the Hawks, because I think most people in Melbourne, most footy experts are tipping the Swans to win, but how can you write off a team playing in their third grand final? So much experience in this Hawthorn team. They know how to win tight games, and if they can get their kicking game going, they're very good around the contest. They can get an advantage with their kicking skills if they can keep it away from Sydney.
Matthew, no shortage of superstar forwards on display today. In your view, is it going to be a superstar one flag, or is it the lesser heralded players that is going to split the two teams today?
I think a superstar like a Franklin, like a Roughhead, they can win the game in the moment, late in the last quarter with a big mark or something special, but I think it'll be the team that has the most contributors, like it always is, Sam, that wins the game.
You're sticking by your prediction that you don't think Cyril will play?
Starting to look a little less likely now that he wanted into the rooms, but there's still some doubt for me about his fitness until the last bounce. Until he runs out there, I'm not convinced.
You're going with this. You've been going with it all day.
Well, let's get down inside the Hawthorn rooms. Tim Watson, he knows a lot about winning premierships. Our man Tim Watson, he has with him the assistant coach of Hawthorn, Brett Ratton.
Well, Rats, first of all, what a cracking day for a game of footy.
Oh, it's magnificent. The weather, the atmosphere will be electric, and yeah, can't wait.
Can you just talk us through what the players are doing right now?
Oh, they'll just do their normal routine. There'll be not much that changes. I think as we get closer and you get out there for the first warm-up, they'll see the crowd. The emotions will start to rise a little bit. But they're a pretty calm group. They've been around, I suppose, this day for the last 3 years. So they'll be pretty calm and ready to go.
Have you detected any nerves amongst the players?
No, not really. No, just walked in here and players seem fairly calm, playing a bit of music. Routine seems the same.
And what about yourself as a coach and the other coaching staff?
It's probably after you do the last warm-up out in the ground and there's that void of about 20 minutes that the coaches are, what do we do now? There's 20 minutes, you start to think about scenarios, and that can be the time that you can sort of start to pace up and down a little bit. But no, we'll just wait. We've planned well this week and ready to go.
You got all those contingencies in line?
Yeah, we think so. We went through what ifs yesterday about, when we're going well and then when Sydney have their momentum as well. So we've sort of got some things up our sleeve.
And Cyril, I saw him arrive. He looked okay. He's definitely going to play?
He'll play, yeah, there's no doubt about it. A player of his quality and what he can bring to the group will be really exciting, and he'll definitely help all the players out there.
Can you tell me whether or not he's going to start on the ground or whether or not he's going to start as a sub?
Oh, I haven't heard yet, Tim. No.
So that's not one of the one-ifs you actually discussed then?
No, we'll leave that to the selection and the time the teams come out. But he'll be, we'll really need him today and he'll play a part.
Thanks for your time and good luck.
Thank you.
Very, very good interview. Quite revealing there from Tim Watson. An excellent microphone technique. He's fought back bravely from the fiasco at the Brownlow. Do you remember with Wingard? Have a look at this. It's a wrestle. Look out.
No, it's just a I suppose, yeah.
That's a top 5 straight away. I love it.
He's had a bad run with the mic, Timmy, lately. For a man who's been doing it for a long time.
You've had your issues with Tim and the microphone.
He just wants to hog it, He doesn't want to share it.
You remember back in 1986, Olivia Newton-John performed the national anthem. It was almost 30 years on, and here it was. And I can tell you, she is looking better, younger and fitter than ever. And it's great to have Olivia Newton-John. She's inside the September Club. Great to see you, Olivia. And do you still get nervous ahead of a big performance today?
Hi. Always. I don't think it's normal not to be a little nervous. It's exciting, though. Gosh, it's amazing.
It is. It's fantastic to have you back in Australia too. I have to point out, we all love one of the most iconic movies of all time was Grease, and it's forever in my heart and minds. And you worked with the great John Travolta. Could you imagine this guy? Possibly.
Yeah, I think that
would it have been a better film, Olivia?
Maybe we could replace John with you. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm taking that as a yes.
That is.
I'm running with that.
Luke Darcy gets the nod.
That looks very good. You could do the sequel.
We need to catch up after the grand final, Olivia. I'm excited about that.
Olivia, what are your memories of 1986? The Hawks won that day as well. What do you remember about singing the anthem?
I was really sad because I'm a Carlton fan. So here I was singing it at the final, and Carlton were the team, and I was wearing blue and white. I was really excited, and they lost. But it was a great day. And my baby Chloe, who's now 28, she was a little baby, and I was just worried about her because she was like 9 months old. So I have some great memories of that day.
Hey, and as well as singing today, which will be great, we're all looking forward to that. You're also here for some very important business tomorrow. Tell us a bit about that.
Oh yes, tomorrow I'm doing a wellness walk for the Olivia Newton-John Cancer and Wellness Centre, and it's going to be in Ivanhoe, and people can register on oliviaappeal.com, and the money is to raise funds that we don't get for the government for the wellness programs for the people going through cancer. So it's to support the families and the people going through it. We have a beautiful centre, and we give them a lot of support with music and art and acupuncture and massage and yoga and meditation, all the things that help the body, mind and spirit when you're going through cancer. So I hope anyone watching will join us. It's a lot of fun. We have a street party on the streets of Ivanhoe. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow, Olivia. 28 degrees.
Yeah.
You couldn't think of anything better than getting out there with Olivia. And great work that she has done with the Olivia Newton-John Cancer Council. I wish you good luck today, but you don't need it.
Yes.
You're a star. We look forward to seeing Olivia Newton-John a bit later on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Amazing lady that she is.
Look, I loved that vision of Olivia back in 1986. She had the gloves on. Did Olivia inspire you back in Geelong earlier this year?
Probably wasn't my finest moment, the gloves. It won't be happening.
Couldn't help it.
Hey, what we're going to do now, Tom Harley is with the assistant coach of the Sydney Swans. He was a hero on this day for the Hawks in 2008. He has with him Stewie Jew.
Joined by dual premiership star Stuart Dew. You've been there as a player, you've been in the box on grand final day yourself. How do you approach the day?
A little bit nervous as a coach. I think as a player you've got a bit more control. So, but I think our prep's done now. A lot of it's up to the players and not much we can do.
You go in unchanged from the two finals. Must give the coaching staff confidence in the 22.
Yeah, I think we've been lucky that we've got a full squad to pick from. So we've gone with the same mix, with the same 22. So we think they can get the job done. They've got us this far.
Cracking game in round 18, one of the best games of the year. How much as a coaching group do you review that game in preparation for today?
A little bit, but I think it's more about trying to get our guys to play at their best. That's why we pick them with the mix we've got, and we were a bit disappointed with round 18, so we didn't take too much out of it.
There's been a lot of focus on Buddy from the Swans, obviously. Cyril's been the story from Hawthorn. You know him so well as a former teammate. Do you expect him to start today?
Yeah, we expect him to start. They're probably similar to us, go with their best squad, and if he's fit, he's in their best squad for sure.
Well, best of luck today. Good luck.
Thanks, Tom.
Take it easy.
Tom Harley there with Stewie Jew. It was one of the great stories in 2008. As we showed you earlier, he was about 30 kilos overweight, Stewie. Came back, Alistair Clarkson got him back, and it was almost the difference on that grand final in 2000. Who today, Richard? Who's someone from the outside? I think Will Langford from Hawthorn might be someone who just jumps up and has an amazing day.
Yeah, well, his last 7 or 8 weeks, Will Langford's been sensational, but there will be someone stand up today. Could it be Ben McAvoy? How hungry is he? He's come in at the expense of Segler. Can he be the man to drop back and just foil Franklin and Tippett and Goods and Sam Reid and get in the way? Maybe Ben McAvoy can have a big impact.
I can't wait to see Buddy in front of the big sticks because he's played his old team twice now, had about 20 scoring shots, but only kicked 5 goals, 12. So accuracy, it's all going to be on his shoulders when it comes down to it. I'm fascinated.
I love one of those grand final stories. Shane Allen in 1997 started at full forward. You always see something that is a surprise on grand final day. We're going to catch up with Tom Jones after the break. The grand final sprint. Stick around. Massive grand final day coming up right here on Channel 7.
A real opportunity for Tartan. He just ices the game. And it is a big win to the Western Bulldogs. Brisbane have won! Jonathan Brown raises the double fister. The big man's got what he wanted. Essendon will win on the road in the Fortress here. Bombers have won. Pavlich from 50. It's online. It looks good. It's hit the post. Mundy's marked. And he must kick it 50 metres. He lets it rip. It's online. Just offline. Geelong win. Martin a chance to win the game. Runs into the open goal. Richmond by 10 points. Petrie around the corner. Snap goal. Inside out right for Banana. Boy, the Bombers are out. Port are back within 4 points. Hawthorn have made the grand final.
We we've been absolutely blessed in season 2014 on a Saturday night. We've had some of the most outstanding games I've seen in a long time. My favourite was the Monday kick after siren down at Geelong. They came back in that last quarter. Highlight for you guys?
Oh, there's been some rippers. We just always get good games. Of course, I love the Tigers winning at the Adelaide Oval, but how can you beat the Hawks and Port in the prelim last week? That was just an amazing feeling to be there for.
Highlight for you, Mick?
Sydney Richmond, I think, was probably
You were in
that
Sydney.
was
wasn't our game.
We didn't broadcast it.
Exactly. You were there, though.
I wouldn't know.
Going to Port Adelaide's match at the Adelaide Oval for the first time, you guys sent me out for the walk. I think you thought that you'd given me the short straw, but I absolutely loved it.
You went up onto the hill, Sammy.
I went to the hill, got amongst it in the crowd, and first look at the Adelaide Oval for me was a highlight.
Yeah, we had some great nights over there at Adelaide Oval, including that couple who got married, and we crossed to them, Mick, and the crowd. That was
yeah, no, that's a highlight. That's on the show reel. They were a good bunch.
Time now for the grand final sprint. Let's get to Basil Zemplis. Thanks to 1-3 Cabs. It's one of the great moments of the year.
The 22nd running, plenty of pace on in this first heat. The first 4 through to the final at half-time. And Jordan Murdoch of Geelong, top 3 last year, one of the speedy customers, Schofield, Tomlinson and Hartung with plenty of pace as well. Let's introduce the field then from North Melbourne, Luke McDonald. From the Western Bulldogs in lane 2, Jason Tutt. From the Hawks, Billy Hartung goes in lane 3. Adelaide's Brodie Smith in 4. Collingwood's Ben Kennedy in 5. From the GWS, Adam Tomlinson in lane number 6. Lane 7, Will Schofield from the West Coast Eagles. Jared Ellis of the Gold Coast in 8. And Jordan Murdoch, the favourite for this year's sprint, goes in lane number 9 from Heat 1.
On your marks. Set.
So away early, Murdoch with plenty of speed. Hartung going with him. McDonald a good start as well. Murdoch the favourite, and he's showing why. He's putting the medal down and will win this first one very easily. Jordan Murdoch across in first. Jared Ellis a good run as well. Billy Hartung from Hawthorn appeared to be third across the line. Good opening heat from the favourite. Heat number 2 of the 1-3 Cabs Grand Final sprint, and Jaden Hunt from Melbourne, the man considered most likely to have the speed on here. Patrick Ambrose from Essendon and Kane Lucas from the Blues featured as well. Let's meet them then. Lane 1 from Port Adelaide, Andrew Moore. Richmond's Basher Hooley goes in lane number 2. From Sydney, it's Daniel Robinson on Grand Final day, lane 3. Kane Lucas from the Blues in lane 4. Jaden Hunt from Melbourne, lane 5. Zach Dawson from Fremantle, lane 6. Lane 7, Patrick Ambrose from the Bombers. Clint Jones from St Kilda in lane 8. And lane number 9, Brisbane's Daniel McStay.
Set.
Hunt got a good start in the middle of the field. Slow out of the blocks was Basher Hooley, and Andrew Moore going well. Ambrose as well. McStay coming hard. Going with him is Jaden Hunt. Jaden Hunt and McStay, bob of the heads. Jones running well, and on the outside, Moore figuring in the finish. Jaden Hunt first across the line, and Brisbane's Daniel McStay, a very nice run. They're through to the final.
Yeah, thanks, Baz. Grand final sprint. The final will be at half-time. And what happened to you?
That impressive.
You were supposed to run in the grand final sprint.
I had to pull out late withdrawal through injury.
Oh, dear.
Really?
What, you were training too hard?
Gout. Gout.
It's a big week.
And fatty liver. So fatty liver. So hopefully I'll be back next year.
Might have been Zach Dawson.
You were having a laugh in that, Matthew.
What was Zach Dawson doing? He's turned up for the free grand final ticket,
I
Dawson.
think you could still win a grand final sprint.
BT was going to do it last year.
Next year, we're going to lock you in, mate. Once you're fit and healthy and back on track.
Come on, Mickey. Fly the flag.
Let's head now to Adam Hamilton from our sponsor, tab.com.au. Welcome to you. Adds any movement in the grand final market?
Das and team, it's been an unbelievable set of one-way traffic betting-wise for the Sydney Swans. Every time I look at the market, they continue to shorten. Remember that they did open $1.80 and Hawthorn at $2.05 last Saturday night. As we take a look at it now, Sydney have continued to shorten into $1.55, and that won't last long. They could start around the $1.50 mark. Hawthorn out to $2.55, and the line on Sydney, minus 8.5, is into $1.85. $1.25. Let's roll on to the Norm Smith medal. Josh Kennedy and Lance Franklin at the top of the market, but there's been a lot of support for Luke Parker, and it continues today. 13 into $9 now, and Ben McGlynn has attracted a lot of support as well. He's into that $15 line, in from $21. Sean Burgoyne popular as well. First goal kicker Lance Franklin, of course, heads the betting, but the punter's just looking a little bit elsewhere. Last year's first goal kicker Jack Gunston has been well backed. He's into $9. Luke Bruce continues to tighten as well at 11, and Ben McGlynn well back to boot that first goal as well. But Sydney certainly very heavily backed. And before we go back to you, let's have a look at this footage of some of the winning tab customers in the best seats in the house competition. They've been settling into an absolutely magnificent day, a great vantage point they've got up there. What a way to watch the game. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Ads. All the money going Sydney's way at the moment. We'll get the tips now from our panel, starting with you, Sam Lane. Who's
Thank you very much. I'm going for Sydney. I'm going to take Daniel Hanbury for the Norm Smith medal. He got 40 touches in round 8 when they met, missed round 18, and also got some votes when these sides met in a grand final a couple of years ago.
Yeah, good choice. Big game player, Dan Hanbury. Look, I think the Swans as well, but I think it'll be really close. 10 points, and I'm tipping Lance Franklin to have a massive day and win the Norm Smith.
I reckon Hawthorn will win. I reckon they'll tough it out.
Whoa!
They've dug deep all year. You know,
Norm Smith.
Yeah. Buddy.
You're going to be down there handing out a losing team.
In a losing team. I've said it.
In a couple of minutes' time.
With 100 goals?
Who?
10 goals?
20.
The last grand final tickets Mick Malloy's going to hand out very short. I think the Swans, for what it's worth, and Luke Parker, the Norm Smith. Lingy is now at the MCG. You burn us here at Fed Square with a very nice tie on. Lingy, what's your final thoughts as we head into the big game?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the tie at the moment, Das. Thank you very much. The MCG looks fantastic. The stage is getting set up for the pre-game entertainment. The players are just wandering around out in the ground going through their final paces at the moment. This will be a huge game. I reckon it's Sydney. I reckon it's Sydney by under 10 points. I reckon this will be an absolute thriller. And as always, the game is won in that midfield. Hard, tough grand finals are fought out between the really hard, tough contested players. So I reckon Josh Kennedy will get the nod for Norm Smith. But Das, this should be an absolute cracker, this game.
Hey, Lingy, we always talk about the bottom 5 or 6 players in each team. Are they really important today? And give us someone that may surprise you and step up and make a name for themselves grand final day.
Yeah, Richo, always really important. You see the teams that just drop away, just maybe in that last few moments in the last quarter or crucial moments in the game, just can't quite get the job done and the other team comes over the top. And not to say that these guys are in that bottom few for Sydney, but I reckon Harry Cunningham and Jake Lloyd play a huge role today. If they can limit the influence of Bradley Hill and also Isaac Smith on the outside, that is going to be crucial to whether or not the Swans get over the line, because Bradley Hill and Smith have just been sensational for the Hawks all year, and their outside run is so important.
Hey, Lee, it looks absolutely magnificent behind you. It's 24 degrees. The ground couldn't be better. Nick, tell us what it's like there inside the ground at the moment.
Oh, it's brilliant, Das. The atmosphere is certainly building. There's fans everywhere, and as I said, the players are just going through their last little walks through on the ground, just trying to calm the nerves down a little bit. It's a perfect day for football. The 1 and 2 best teams all year. This is going to be beauty. I think you leave aside your favourite team, your team preferences. This is the grand final we all wanted to see. Buddy Franklin playing against his old team, Sydney versus Hawthorn. Couldn't get any better than this.
Yeah, great stuff, Lee. It's got everything that you would want about a grand final. Good calling, and we'll cross to you in a minute's time. Cameron Ling there inside the MCG. Hey, a great part of our show has been Campbell Brown. He's gone out and caught up with a lot of big-name guests for us right across the year. Looking forward to seeing how he goes right now, because he has alongside of him Sir Tom Jones.
I'm standing down here in the green room of the MCG with music royalty. He sold 100 million copies, over 100 million. Am I selling you short?
I think so, but 150.
He's been knighted by the Queen, and we're honoured to be joined by Sir Tom Jones. Thanks very much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Have you ever been to an AFL game before?
No, I haven't. Not live. I've seen it on television, and it looks very interesting, and they look very fit.
They certainly are.
Yes.
I can attest to that. There's 44 young men down in the change rooms, very nervous for today's performance. How do you go? You've been doing this for years. Do you still feel the nerves?
Yeah, but when I know my voice is working okay, then I'm fine. And I'm sure that rugby players are the same way. If they feel fit and they feel strong, you know, then there's nothing to worry about. But with myself, I'm one singer. You know, with a team sport, you've got to think about everybody else as well. So I don't have that to worry about, except my musicians, of course.
And in this industry, you know, there's a few players about to do a lap of honour. They're 30, 31, 32. You're 74. You don't look a day over 60, mind you. But how do you keep yourself motivated and your longevity in the industry?
Well, I try and work out as much as I can. I used to work out more when I was younger, and I used to run a lot, but now I speed walk, I do a bit of walking, and I get in the gym whenever I can, and I drink plenty of water. I think that's the key, really, not to get dehydrated. And I've been lucky. I've had good health all my life, so I think luck has got a lot to do with it.
And we're going to hear some of your old-time favourites.
Yeah, we're going to mix them up a bit. You know, we're going to do some new things and some old things. So it's going to be a good mixture.
Well, I know that all the women out there throw undies at you and knickers and things like that. I didn't want to miss out today, so here you go, mate. Just a special token of my appreciation. I did wash some.
Well, I can use these.
No, thank you very much. It's been fantastic. It's an honour to speak to you, Sir Tom.
See you. All the best.
Thank you, mate.
Take care.
Pretty happy with his own work there, Mr. Tom Jones. Hey, keep it on right after the final siren. We're going right through, Richo. You're going to be there for the Virgin Australia concert. You're going to get Ed Sheeran, Sir Tom Jones, and the winning team presented on stage. And people haven't got a ticket. You can actually come to the MCG and you can get out onto the Hello Turf and watch a couple of great entertainers.
Yeah, it's going to be right. Me and Baz are going to hang around and host that. We can't wait. And as you said, anyone walking past the MCG, you can come in for free, watch two superstars in action and see the winning grand final players. So it'll be a ripper, Sam.
We all heard what Tom Jones said. The key is to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
Water.
Nice health message there. Thank you, Sam, for that.
As well, mix it up.
Hey, big thanks to Toyota, and you can see the beautiful unbreakable black Hilux in the background there. We've sent Mick Malloy out amongst the crowd. This is going to be interesting. He's got a couple of grand final tickets thanks to Toyota. Mickey, over to you, mate. Good luck with this.
Could be dangerous.
I have in my hands the hottest tickets in town for the MCG Grand Final, this great outdoor cathedral we love in Melbourne. And I've got Graham, is it?
That's correct.
And
Steve.
Now, this is a father and son team. You've flown in today to be with your father?
Yeah, just flew in from Dubai last night, and this is for Dad's bucket list. So
this is a bucket list? This is what you want?
That's right, Mick.
All right, well, you can go quietly after this today, can't you? Huh? Just make sure you stay to the end, because I reckon it's going to be a humdinger. Good on you guys. Have a great day. Good on you. Keep the faith.
Nice work, Mickey. Very happy father-son combination there. Thanks to Toyota, the unbreakable black Hilux on screen. And we're about to head into the MCG very, very shortly, and not far away, Richo and Sam, from the first bounce, which is just going to be sensational.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a few nerves. I don't know why I'm not playing, but it's just a pleasure to be involved in this day, and he has a big part to play, Jack Gunston. He was so good last year. He doesn't need many opportunities to make it count, but I think the most important forward for the Hawks today to us is Luke Bruce. He's been a little bit quiet in the last month, but if here's a big game today, I think he can nearly pull the Hawks across the line.
Sam, I love the first-time grand final players who are out there for the first time. You saw Taylor Giroux there with the Collingwood Premiership player, Damien Monkhurst, and you might get one shot at this. This might be the last time that you have a life-changing moment, and you get it all on this big day and one opportunity to deliver your best.
And then all those stories, of course, like Ben McGlynn, who's been there and he's been curtailed by injury. Today he gets his chance. Will that fairy tale come true? But who can go past the $10 million man, Buddy Franklin? Some say that Sydney has already got value for money from that $10 million outlay. He can earn that $10 million, I reckon, in one day today.
Yep, great stuff, Sam. You're absolutely right. Final word for the year for Mick Malloy.
I'd just like to show you this once more.
Oh, no. Oh, there it is. We put that to bed for season 2014. Hey, big thanks to Chris Jones, to Mitch, to Adele, all the team behind Saturday Night Footy. They have done the most amazing job right throughout the year. After the break, we're going to go inside the MCG. Bruce Dennis, the King Wayne Carey, Lee Matthews, Tom Harley, our own Cameron Lang. It's a perfect day here at the MCG, 24 degrees. Up next, the 2014 Toyota AFL Grand Final.